Yup. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to a different type of podcast. This one, I had to go. I had to leave. I had to reinvent myself. I had to think about what was important to me. You know what I'm saying? And I decided to fuck it, change the name of my podcast to Let's Vibe Podcast Show. Let's Vibe, hosted by your girl, Leslie. You feel me? And sometimes you have to take a step back. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that changed in my life. And I plan on just being very transparent. I plan on just opening up in ways that I haven't opened up before. So if you know me and you're listening, man, be prepared, okay? Because you're about to learn some things about me that I probably don't even share with my close friends. So shout out to y'all. I really love my friends, but sometimes there's just stuff that you don't tell people. You just deal with it on your own. So yeah, I'm just at that point where I don't care and I'm just going to share my life, my stories, and I hope that even if it's not today, that maybe one day someone will listen and it'll change their life. They'll see things from a different perspective, or they'll gain that motivation to just start, because we always we're always worried about trying to okay, I'm not going to say we. Me, Les over here. I'm always worried about trying to be perfect and trying to have the right pieces and the right motion, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes the right play and the right motion is to just start. So here we are. I'm just starting, and I had Back in the Booth podcast. I'm keeping those episodes up. Nothing changed about that. Nothing's really going to change except the name and how I decide to interact with you guys. That's the only thing that's changing. But I'm here to talk about my faith. I'm here to talk about how your vibe attracts your tribe. You know, I'm here to talk about my progress in acting, my life, my struggles, my down, my ups, all of that. You feel me? I'm just here to just share everything. And if there's things that you guys want to know, just feel free to comment. Feel free to let me know. And I'm here to talk about whatever. My life, my relationships, the non-relationships, just everything, I'm here to talk about it all. So the reason I decided to change the name, the reason I decided to go with like a different vibe is because, when things aren't working and the way that you want them to, sometimes you have to take that step back and see like what am I doing? What's going on? How can I be better? How can I, elevate? How can I switch it up a little bit. You feel me? So that's all I'm trying to do right now. Is just switch up the game. You feel me? And I'm probably not even gonna have guests on this thing for a minute. I got some ideas that I want to launch, but as of right now, Less Vibe podcast show is what it is. I may even go to recording myself and having you guys see my wonderful face. I don't know yet. We'll see when I get there. I'm also the type of person who's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Or, I probably won't do that, So I gotta see how I'm feeling. I gotta see what the weather be like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just here to talk about my faith, my growth, my success, the culture, you feel me? Because I love being black. And it's just a vibe. I want y'all to come here, listen to me on your way to work, listen to me, what I'm saying, before you go to bed or whatever the case may be. Like if you bored, just play one of my episodes, bro. And I'm telling you, it's all a vibe. So with that being said, since this is just a vibe, okay, I want to check in with you. How is your vibe? How are you feeling? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we get wrapped up in me, but there's a whole world out here of people who are, doing their thing. And I just want to check in with y'all and see how your vibe is. Because my vibe right now is cool. I'm always cool. If you ask anybody, I'm always cool. But my vibe right now is just leaning and being anchored in my faith, because sometimes when you have nothing, you got to remember that you have God. And I'm not going to come on here preaching. I'm not going to come up here trying to be a pastor or anything. But I want y'all to feel me, because my faith has got me through some times that only me and God know about. So, if you're going through something right now, I just want y'all to know that if you believe in God, and if you don't believe in God, I'm not trying to convert you, I'm not trying to do any of that. But I'm hoping that if I could share my faith with you guys and you hear me and you feel me, that, you know, maybe you'll have faith too. I don't know. But for the past, I would say 3 years, my faith in God has got stronger and stronger and stronger. And with that being said, I have seen a difference in my life just by having the faith of a mustard seed, okay? That's all you need. It's just a little bit of faith, and things will work out. Things will work out, I'm telling you. So, seeing my growth just from myself, because I will say that when things are going well for me, I'm looking around for someone to be proud of me, like my family to say, "Oh, I'm so proud of you." But at the end of the day, like, people are going through their own stuff. So my faith and knowing that I'm never alone, even though I feel like it sometimes, but knowing that I'm never alone because God got me, that's just make me have a pep in my step alone by itself, knowing that, man, God got my back. God will never let me fail. He didn't put me here to fail. Why am I acting like I'm gonna fail? God didn't put me here to fail. You feel me? He didn't put you here to fail either. So whatever dream that you got in your heart, whatever vision that you can see for yourself, pray about it. Talk to God about it. I'm telling you, you'll see a difference. And then sometimes when you don't see anything at all, and you're like, God, what am I supposed to be doing? Just sit back and God will show you exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And you will feel that you're even on the right path. And this is just me speaking from experience. From my own experience is, man, being scared, being nervous. And God is like, why? God is like, for what? I got you, girl. You know what I'm saying? So that alone makes me happy. And, yeah, so listen, y'all, the vibe is good over here. And I want y'all to vibe with me and be happy. And don't let yesterday bleed over into today. You feel me? Sometimes you gotta let it go. You know what I'm saying? And move on and figure it out. That's kind of like where I'm at right now. So yeah, that's the vibe I'm on right now. And I'm trying to also point out that that's my vibe. And guess what I'm gonna attract? The same people who are all on the same time as me. You might get a few people, who trying to bring you down. But let me tell you, that the devil's gonna only attack people who are looking towards and chasing God. The devil don't have to attack you if you already, you feel me, with no faith, you over here believing in nothing. The devil ain't really worried about you. But when you over here chasing your faith, chasing the things that you believe in, being anchored in God, the devil will come try to attack you. And I'm speaking from experience. The devil will send somebody who you think is, you know what I'm saying, on your type of time. But slowly and surely, those devils in sheep clothing will get revealed. And you gotta cut their ass off, you feel me? And come back better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where I'm at with all that, you know. And your vibe attracts your tribe. So whatever I'm putting out, whatever vibe you putting out is the same type of people that you will attract. And I'm only trying to attract the same type of people as me. And my motivation every day is to just get up. My motivation every day is to just try. I'm doing one thing every day that is putting me one step closer to my dreams. And if y'all have listened to the previous episodes, my dream is straight up being the best actor I could be, getting paid for acting. That's where I want my money to come from acting. I don't want to have to work at none of these jobs. Please. I'm cool on that. But if you got to do what you got to do sometimes, you know? But my dream is to be an actor, get paid, okay? Trying to get paid. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm trying to get that paid. You feel me? So I'm trying to get paid and find my future wife, wherever she is out there. I'm trying to find you, girl, okay? And just live my life. Live my life with my wife, acting, making money, traveling, loving my wife, traveling with my wife, acting, making money. With all of that, being anchored in God, with all the things that I want, the anchor that's holding it all together is God. And when I think of an anchor, I think of a bridge, and you got millions of cars just driving on that bridge all day, 24/7. And that bridge is sturdy. You feel me? That bridge is anchored in whatever they anchored it in the ground. That's how I want my anchor to be with God. Strong, a million cars on that thing all day. And guess what? My faith never wavers. So, yeah, that is my dream. So, every day I wake up, I got to do one thing to have me closer to that dream. One thing to have me closer to that dream every day, okay? Every day. And I want to be able to make a change in my own world, you know, in the world, but in my make a positive impact. And I feel like with the success from acting, I can create, this is one of my other goals that I want to share. I want to create a foundation in Florida, West Palm Beach, where I'm from, 561. I want to create a foundation in the name of my grandma, that passed away. But let me tell y'all a quick little story. If it wasn't for that lady, I really don't know where I would be. Okay. My mom had me, and my mom had four other kids at this point. And then here I come. And my mom, she was on drugs. She passed away too. May she rest in peace, because she was not, I don't think she was at peace here. So I hope that she's at peace, wherever she may be. But my mom had four other kids that she gave away. And then she had me next. I'm the fifth child. And so she gave me away. And she told my grandma. But at this time, back then, my grandma was literally a lady in the neighborhood who was babysitting kids, right? She had a house full of kids watching the neighbors' kids, watching the ladies' kids down the street, watching the ladies' kids 2 blocks away. You feel me? My grandma was that lady, watching the neighborhood kids. And my mom came through with me. I'm probably 2 months, 3 months, I don't know. My grandma told me the story. So I'm telling y'all what she told me. So I was like 3 months, maybe 2 months, or maybe fucking 3 days old. I don't know. Straight out the hospital, okay? And my mom came to my grandma's house and was like, hey, can you watch her real quick while I go look for a job? What the fuck? But then my grandma said, okay, I got you. Don't worry about it. You don't even have to pay me. Just do what you got to do for this baby and for your other kids too. They knew each other. They had a relationship. So while my mom was pregnant with me, she knew my grandma and she knew my auntie. So yes, strangers, just friends for real. At this point, just friends. So my grandma was like, "Yeah, go do your thing. I'll see you later." This lady ain't never come back till later, for real. Later, when my grandma said, "See you later," my mama was like, "Later, for real, for real." Because I think like 3, 4 months later, she came back and was like, "Listen, like I can't raise her. I can't take care of her." So the stranger, my grandma was like, "Don't worry about it. I got it." Because I don't even want her going back with you, pretty much. That's how I think about it. She's better off here. I done had her for 3, 4 months anyway. We done took her to the hospital. We done took her to the doctor. She done got checkups, got her shots. Like, she cool. Don't even worry about it. So, yes, that's just a little bit of the story. So, yes, I want to start a foundation in the name of my grandma that can take these kids who have no home, take these kids and put them in homes that are good, or babysit them if they need to. I want to start a foundation in the name of my grandma that's saving these kids out here from possibly the worst parenting they could ever imagine. Okay. And I want to start it in West Palm Beach. So these are the things that are in my mind. These are the things that I want. These are the things I'm working towards, just based off my own life, just based off the things that I went through and being able to overcome those things. Because your past doesn't have to define, you know, if you make it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a mom who had me, couldn't raise me, couldn't even raise her other kids, gave me away to a stranger who took care of me, who loved me, who raised me, who fed me, who made sure I had the things that I needed. Now, uh, I was still, I was still, you know, getting taken care of, but also when you think about it, you thinking about your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, why she didn't want me, why she didn't. And we put so much pressure on the mama, but my daddy was also like 2 blocks away. Okay. So, and I met him when I turned like 14. So yeah, I don't want anyone to think that you have to come from something to be something. You could come from nothing and be something. And I'm here to be that proof. I'm here to show y'all that you can do it. And by sharing my story, by sharing my faith, I hope that it'll motivate at least one person, to whoever the fuck you want to be, y'all. Do it. Whatever the fuck you want to do, y'all, do that shit. Okay? Do it. Because I was in the mindset of, damn, like, okay, I joined the army, like, I have to work and I have to have a 9 to 5 and move up the corporate ladder. No, fuck that. I want to do something that has been in my heart since I was a little kid, and that's acting. Since I was a little kid, I wanted to be an actor. But then, sometimes when you share your dreams with the wrong people, the dreams start looking hella far. You know what I mean? It started looking like, damn, can I even get there? Can I even see it? But let me tell y'all, if it's in your heart, it's there for a reason. So, this is the vibe that I'm giving off on my podcast show right now. I hope y'all can vibe with me. I hope y'all feeling me because this shit coming from my heart. So I hope that y'all can vibe with me. I hope y'all hear me and that maybe one day, even if it's not right now, maybe one day, you know what I'm saying, y'all will feel me. I can motivate y'all, change maybe just that one person, motivate just that one girl, that one little boy, that one little girl that you can do and be whoever the fuck you want to be. Okay? So, yeah, move in faith, not in fear. Move in faith, not in fear. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank y'all for listening to the local celebrity. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all being patient with me. The last episode, I think, was January. Now we're in August. I appreciate y'all being patient. I appreciate y'all just so much. Peace.